we funded our own deaths. What's up, everybody? I am the Skeptical Realist. Dan's kind of scaring the fuck out of me. I'll be honest with this one. He's a serious guy, and I take him seriously. I trust him. I do believe him. And this one is this one's on another level. I think what Dan is talking about here is completely plausible. I could see it happening, and that's why it's so concerning.
You need to get prepared today. Water filtration, the ability to create fire. Get yourself a charcoal grill. Get yourself some wood, some charcoal, some ammunition. Make sure your firearms are operable. Make sure you have a good safe. Make sure you have, if you can, some antibiotics. We have Contingency Medical. They're an advertiser, full disclosure, but I use them anyway, even if they weren't an advertiser. Emergency food. Don't mess around. Now, guys, to be fair to the audience, because I don't like it. Have I not been warning, Joe, about this for weeks, that they know something about China? But to be fair to you, I did not know what it was. I suspected, based on a body of experience reading the left, that the Biden administration knows something about a possible World War III that we don't. Based on a number of things I've been talking about for 3 weeks. I think I know what it is now. And it was right in front of us the whole time. There is a great reporter at Red State. I follow her on Twitter, on Truth. She is incredible. Her name is Jennifer Van Laar. She is a great person, and she does amazing work. Now, I'm going to put some stories together for you. They're not complicated, but I need you to pay very close attention. Okay, folks, this is, how many people? 68,000. Just get your friends right now and call them up and tell them to tune. I'll give you a second. Because if you don't believe you need to get prepared, after this you will. Sorry for the tease, but that's how important this is. Okay. Red State, exclusive. You guys remember Dong Jingwei? He is the Chinese, upper-level Chinese Communist Party official who's been, it was alleged by Jennifer Van Laar, who has excellent sources, and I have no reason to not to believe her, defected to the United States. The strange part about this story about Dong Jingwei, who could be the greatest source of intel on the Chinese Communist Party we've ever seen, the CCP, is no one seems to know anything about it other than Jennifer, who seems to have great sources. Now we find out in her exclusive, quote, CCP counter-intel defector Dong Jingwei is still in the United States, and they're debriefing him. Now, here's where the story gets freaking hairy, bro. Pay attention. Sorry, that was rude. Please pay attention. Technical details provided by the defector, Dong Jingwei, were given to scientists who were not told how the government obtained that information. Pay attention to that scientist. So Dong Jingwei is talking to scientists, or was. The scientists reanalyzed data from published sources in conjunction with new data and concluded that the SARS-CoV-2 virus was engineered. And the defector was able to confirm numerous non-public details Yan provided the U.S. government. Just quick summation. Big defector from China, Dong Jingwei, knows a lot. He's talking to some scientists. Next screenshot from this piece. This is where the story gets super hairy. Those scientists, according to the Defense Intelligence Agency sources, were Dr. Stephen Quay, who I've interviewed, and physics professor Richard Muller. Now, what do I always tell you, Joe? Remember the names? Why do I tell you all to remember the names? Because I was a criminal investigator for 15 years, 12 years in the Secret Service with the NYPD. You get the point, whatever. And the biggest thing I ever learned was you got to memorize names in the cases, because as you're talking to someone about a criminal case, a name's going to pop up. And if you don't remember that name immediately and how it fits in, it's going to go right over your head. So I saw Richard Muller, and I always committed myself to remembering the names. And I'm like, where have I heard the name Richard Muller, who's alleged to have spoken to this Chinese defector, Dong Jingwei, who has all kinds of information about really bad shit the Chinese Communist Party wants to do to us? And I'm thinking, holy Moses, I saw it in this crazy piece from just a few days ago in the Wall Street Journal called World War III Would Be Fought with Viruses. Now, why do I remember this piece? Because it was written by, holy shit, Richard Muller. The same guy. Why did I remember the piece? Because it scared the living daylights out of me. That's why. So Richard Muller, who was talking to a Chinese Communist Party defector, Dong Jingwei, writes a piece in the Wall Street Journal about how we're all going to die in World War III. Gosh, I wonder where he got that from, Joe. And, well, you may be saying, okay, Dan, well, what is it? I'll explain to you. You can read the piece yourself. It's behind a paywall. That's why I didn't put it in the show notes. But it's called World War III Will Be Fought with Viruses, Wall Street Journal opinion, Richard Muller. You can look it up, pay for a subscription if you want. You may get 1 or 2 free articles. It's worth your time. The gist of it is this. The Chinese Communist Party is engineering superviruses. They're likely looking at vaccines too, which corroborates the story about the bat lady and the virus doctor who disappeared in China. They're probably going to inoculate their population first, release another supervirus, and kill us all. Wow, Dan, that sounds bad. It gets worse. That's only one part of their 2-prong attack. The other prong is going to be sophisticated computer viruses and malware that attack our hospitals and everyone else. So while we're all dying from the supervirus, none of our hospitals or water filtration plants or anything else, supply chains work either. So we're basically all dead. I told you to get ready. Now, does this make sense, by the way? You got that video of Yellen, by the way? Cue that up. Now do you understand why our pathetic, disgusting garbage people in the White House cabinet like Janet Yellen, our sad sack Treasury Secretary, is going over to China bowing like a dog before the Chinese? Oh, please help us. Look at this scene. Look at this. You see this? Bowing. Look at that. Let me kiss your ass a little more. You see it? Now you see why that's happening? You see why our Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, went over there a couple weeks ago, begging the Chinese, begging them to please talk to her. Please let me play in your sandbox. And the Chinese were like, hey, this is my ass. You want to kiss it? It's because they're scared. Because they're scared. So why aren't they fighting back, Dan? Military's too preoccupied right now with DEI stuff. At the top, not our fighting men and women. Get ready, man. I ain't dicking around here. I am dead serious.
Well, that sounds like fun. What are we going to do about that? How do you prepare for that? If this is real. I mean, Dan's making the case. He's putting 2 and 2 together. It definitely sounds plausible. But how do we prepare for that? What is this administration doing about it? If it is true, because if it is true, then they do know about it. What are they doing? Will we know if they're doing something? Or will they do nothing? Because you know they're going to be taken care of. You know they will be in some bunker somewhere. They'll have medical care. They'll have food and water. We'll be outside, all fighting each other, killing each other, and dying for resources and everything else. This is apocalyptic. I don't know how you prepare for something like that. A virus. You have to have complete isolation. Who can do that? I don't have a cabin in the woods. So how can I actually prepare for a virus? Look at what just happened with the pandemic. You know, pretty much everybody has gotten it. But if it's something that kills you, like 100%, well, how do you prevent that? You have to wear some sort of chemical suit or biological suit until everyone around you dies? So could this be the way that we go out, huh? Well, we definitely know China wants to take over the world. Why wouldn't they do it this way? It prevents them losing millions of lives in some conventional war or through nuclear war. And we probably funded it. We probably funded the research that would go into the virus that would kill us, that would take us out. I'm 100%. I'm sure that that's exactly what's happening. If this is true, we funded our own deaths. All right, that's going to do it for this cheerful piece of information that we all are aware of now. Yeah. Be sure to hit the like button. Not sure it's going to matter. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification. Share the video. Definitely share the video. And I'll see you in the next one.